Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. And why Shalom, why Barakim to the elect, beginning with the 144,000 which are scattered abroad and in every place, redeeming the time and ready to be saved. Shalom. Alright, as you can see, what I put here, typed in on Google, I asked, what is the Church of God? You know, and we know the true name, his name is Yahweh, all right? Because his name is not God, all right? When you go into the word God in the Hebrew, it's Allah, all right, which means power, all right? So that wouldn't be his name, that would be what he is, okay? You know, he is the God, you know, the power, all right? That's what he is. That's not his name. You know, you hear people, these Christians, or just in general, you know, God this, God that, all right? That just means power, you know, that's what he is, you know? But what is his name? His name is Yahweh. And his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Alright? If we're going to continue to push those names and explain that until he's physically discovered to the earth. Alright? But what the AI overview came up with was the Church of God is a term used by various, mostly independent Christian denominations, primarily within the Pentecostal and holiness traditions, with the Church of God, Cleveland, Tennessee, being the oldest, founded in 1866. Right? So this is the oldest founded church, which was built in 1866. All right. So we just learned something there. All right, Salakia. Yes, Salakia. Alright, so yeah, it says, with the Church of God in Cleveland, Tennessee, being the oldest, founded in 18. Okay, this is the oldest Church of God. Okay, yeah, which was founded in 1886. Salakia. They generally emphasize biblical literacy, holiness, Pentecostal practices like speaking in tongues, and often have a centralized church government. All right. So, you know, I don't want to get too much in this, but I'm want to make a point through the spirit. All right, because you know what? Let me put this. Let me try this. All right. So they go you all these different, really they're synagogues, right? But I want them. I'm looking for a correct answer because none of these are correct. All right. Because none of these are the churches of the true power, the one that they call God. Even when you go into the images, what do you see? You see buildings, temples. Okay, that's what you see. That's what you see, and this is inaccurate, man. All right, these are not the churches of Yahweh Bashim Shai according to the scriptures. All right. Let's see. See that? I put our churches known as buildings. And AI Overview says, yes, churches are widely known as buildings, particularly in common language. Describe physical location, use. Okay, but you see, like I said, incorrect. Because the true churches are not buildings. Once again, according to the scriptures. Alright, right here it says physical buildings often feature distinctive architecture. Alright, but look what it says right here. Theological definition. The word comes from the Greek ecclesia, meaning an assembly. Alright? Or called out ones. Alright? Referring to believers, the body of Yahweh Shai, rather than the venue. You see? But then it says down here, though, while theologians emphasize the people, many Christians refer to the building they attend as the church for convenience. So once again, that's why these Christians or the Antichrist are on a very low level. All right? Because the church is the apostles, the teachers, and the prophets, man. We just read it right here. What is called out? What is who? When we're called out, we're out there on the highways and the hedges. All right. So this was spot on right here. It said the word comes from the Greek ecclesia, meaning an assembly. That's why you have to go into the Greek and the Hebrew to understand, words, the scriptures. All right. So it said the word comes from the Greek ecclesia, the meaning an assembly or called out ones, referring to believers. All right, the body of Yahweh Shai rather than the venue. You see, but as I put, are churches known as I asked, are churches known as buildings? What they say, yes. So commonly, people refer to the church as these buildings, man. All right. Like I said, even when you hit Google, you see these big, large buildings. All right. But you see, what should be here is teachers. All right. Prophets. A body of men. Okay. That's what should be there. That's the true body. That's the true church of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, the body, which is members of men. All right, and you have the rest of the innumerable multitude. All right, but we didn't. But it starts with the men, the 144,000. All right. The house of David. Okay? Because you see these buildings, the Lord is not found in these so-called churches, man. Alright? Matter of fact, when you go into the book of Samuel, or 2 Samuel, chapter 7. Alright, this is Daniel, 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 5. It says, "Go and tell my servant David, and thus said the Lord, shalt thou build me an house for me to dwell in?" Right. "Whereas have I not dwelt." Now listen to this. "Whereas have I not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day." There you go. And it's what, currently April the 13th, 2026. So the Lord hasn't dwelt in a house or a building since since he brought us up out of the land of Egypt. All right. So this is a huge cut on these Christians, because they in there right now. Well, not right now, but who knows? They be in there hooping and hollering, doing the most, and the spirit and the presence of the Lord ain't even in there. Hey, they even got that one song. What they play? "The presence of the Lord is here." It's here. Yeah, I'm sure y'all know that song, man. We all heard this song. Hey, they say, "I can feel it in the atmosphere." Hey, the spirit of the Lord is not there, man. And this is why he has set his true work men up to bring this to light. All right. Let's read this again in 2 Samuel 7 and 6. It says, I start from 5 again. It said, "Go and tell my servant David, thus said the Lord, shalt thou build me an house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day." You see? "But have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle." There you go. So these different buildings, which they call the house of the Lord, the Lord does not dwell there. He's not there. Period. Okay? Let's get let's get okay, Colossians. Let's get Colossians 1. Alright, this is Colossians 1 and 24. Colossians 1 and 24, it says, wait. Yep, this is it. 1 and 24, it says, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Yahushua in my flesh, for his body's sake, which is the church. You see that? So, let me read that again. It said, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Yahushua in my flesh, for his body's sake. Right? Which is the church. You see, we are the church. Okay? Because we are the body. You see? We are the church. Let me show you. Okay, what's that? 1 Corinthians. We are that body. 1 Corinthians 12 and 27. Well, you know what? I'm going to just breeze through this, because, this is good, man. I start at 14. It says, for the body is not one member, but many. And that's, you got a lot of brothers, it's a lot of us, man. All right, it says, if the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not the body, is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now hath the Most High set the members, every one of them, in the body, all right, as it hath pleased him. If they were all one member, where were the body? But now are there many members. All right? And this is the time that we're in. All right? Many members. You got brothers everywhere, man. All right? He said, but now are there many members, yet but one body. All right, it says, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head of the feet, I have no need of thee. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked. Alright? That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care for one another. And whether one member suffer, and this is good, and whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Alright? So if a brother is suffering, hey, we all feel it. Alright? It says, or one member be honored. No, it says, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Right. That's right. This is the point right here. It says, verse 27, now ye are the body of Yahushua. You see? And members in particular. You see that? So, once again, like it said, the body in Colossians 1 and 24 speak about, he told you that the body is the church. Alright? And we are the body. As it is written right here. Alright? Once again, verse 27. Now ye are the body of Yahushua. Alright? And members in particular. You see? He says, and the Most High hath set some in the church, right, for apostles, secondarily prophets. Oh, so like, let me read that again. And the Most High hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles. All right. Then gifts of healings. And then you got helps. All right. You got friends of the prophets. Women that cook for the prophets. The church. The prophets, the brothers bring gifts. It says governments, diversity of tongues. And that's talking about knowing how to speak other languages. All right, it says, are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret, and because not everybody's are called to be a prophet or a teacher. All right, that's why that's why, as we read up, few scriptures up, verses up rather. Hey, not all can be the ear or the nose, so not every member of the elect would be a prophet. It's not here on the earth prophesying or teaching these scriptures. They would be, like the scripture said, they may be helps, all right, or they may be into the herbs. They can be into the herbs, making medicines for brothers, sending them to brothers, to different camps, etc. All right, that's why I said, are all apostles, are all prophets, are all teachers? No. All right, he said, are all workers of miracles, have all the gifts of healing, do all speak with tongues, do all interpret? Right. So, but once again, this is the body, all right, of Yahushua, which is the true, which is the church, man. All right, this is the proper definition of the church of the Most High, or the church of God. All right, we are the church. All right, the scripture, what it say? Know ye not that ye are the temple? All right. So we got, hey, you still calling these buildings, these temple churches in 2026, you're on a very low level, man. All right, you through, cooked, like they say. But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Lord, when it was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.